Hello. So I want to share with you another way that I flip the limiting thoughts, resentment, judgments, and all of that. So whenever I have different life experiences on a day-to-day basis, I'm going to be coming on here pretty much daily with sharing some examples, sometimes more than one time in a day. So click subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications so that you can keep being inspired by hearing different examples, so that you can keep that in front of mind to be able to do that in your own life. So I went on a date recently, and I hadn't been interested in him in the beginning, and he just kept persisting. And I'm pretty good because of the work that I've done and a lot of personal work that I've done over the years about picking up who is a good person for me to connect to or not. And I didn't get that vibe from him that I should, given the unconscious and conscious messages that were coming to me from him. But I thought, because I do this every now and then, I go, well, I'm going to experiment and see what happens. Well, just to test what my gut sense is. So I thought it'd be nice to go have a lunch with someone, meet someone new, someone I don't normally, could be quite interesting. He did seem a genuinely nice person, so it wasn't that there were danger red flags kind of things, of toxic things. But, to me, red flags also include when people aren't in their full power and emotional intelligence. And I thought he was missing some aspects given the way he connected with me from the dating app. And so as I said, I thought I'll experiment. I'm curious. There's something there that I'm curious about. So I drove. I was originally going to be in the city that morning for a work appointment, but that got rescheduled. And so originally I was just going to be a few minutes from where I was meeting up with him near the city. But in the end, after that rescheduling, I thought, oh, do I reschedule seeing him, or do I go? Because now I'm going into the city just to see him. And I thought, oh, I'll leave it and I'll just go. And so I drove in, and it took me about 45 minutes at that time of day to go for our catch up. I was just parking my car. I just parked my car, sent him a text to say, I'm just a few minutes away. I've just parked the car. And then I got a text back straight away going, oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot. I worked late last night and it was a bad shift, and, all these excuses. And I messaged back, don't worry. This is now an hour and a half out of my day. I didn't want to hear his excuses. And so I drove off back home again. He actually had the cheek to say, do I want to wait a couple of hours? And he would come, 2 hours later. And I thought, well, there's another sign of someone that doesn't value my time, because he wants me to hang around for 2 hours just to meet him, which was quite funny because he was the one that had been so keen to meet me, and then he forgot, and he actually had the cheek to say, because he rang me because he wanted to reschedule, the cheek to say, oh, I knew when we made that time I should have asked you to remind me the day before or something. And it's like, so to me, that's another red flag of, if something's important to him, can't he find a way of reminding himself so that he doesn't forget it? And if we're not even on a date, and he's wanting me to remember something for him, I personally prefer to be in a relationship with someone where you don't need each other to keep each other on track. You're with each other because you enjoy each other's company, and that's and to have fun with each other rather than to prop each other up and fill each other's gaps. So anyway, I left there feeling a bit annoyed and resentful of my time, and I could have been doing a lot more satisfying things than driving there. And I then thought, how do I flip this so I don't feel angry and resentful and powerless? Because I tried something, I experimented, and it didn't turn out the way I had wanted for just a fun catch up with someone new. And so, how do I flip that? So, one of the things was that, well, it was a date with me rather than a date with someone new, that maybe what the universe was communicating to me was that I needed to spend time with me, and that it wasn't the right time to have any catch up with someone new in my life, that maybe I needed to pull back from looking to connect with someone and actually connect with myself. That how do I lighten up and have fun without asking someone else? Because I knew I wasn't interested in him. So there was a part of me that was, I'm always happy to meet new people. And because even if it's not a person that I want to have a relationship with, every conversation reflects something back. When we're living on our own or we're not in a relationship, there's the unconscious has to find a way to communicate and bring information to us. And so, yes, we can do it through our own tracking of the unconscious, but doing it through friends or people that we meet is one way that the unconscious finds something that we can then see via someone else. And so it really brought home to me that I needed to have a date with me rather than a date with someone else, and that I really needed to spend time enjoying the lightness of life and not seek from someone else that enjoyment, and that this was a date for me. And one of the things that I flipped to do with that time was maybe I needed to get out of momentum from that day or from the last few days, and that having something unexpected happen like that woke me up to what I needed to focus on and what was more important, rather than go from one thing to the next from the thinking function, but return to more of my sensing function. So I hope this is making sense for you, that what I did so that I could flip that resentment about driving that way for 90 minutes for nothing was, oh, okay, I'm clearly getting information that to trust my original instincts and sensings of what's coming up. And if I'm needing more lightness and play, find a way that's going to be more satisfying rather than risky. Make sure that it's with someone that can meet me there rather than someone that I already knew couldn't, because of what I'd picked up from the messages that he'd sent me in reaching out to me. And so it became, instead of a lunch date with someone new, it became a date with me. And that's that reminder from the universe of trust myself and to honor me, love me, be my best friend, and have a date with me and initiate fun things to do, which is something that I can do quite well for myself. But I took it as a reminder to initiate doing something fun for me, because often we might wait till we meet someone else before we go eat at that place we want to eat at, or watch that movie, or go on that day trip or that holiday. And so it was really one of those reminders, when you get in the groove of doing different things in your life, to create my fun and listen to my instincts, and that now is not necessarily the right time for me to meet someone. So I hope my sharing of how I flipped that resentment is helpful for you. I guess one of the things why I can also flip it quite fast is because I've done specific mind-body techniques to be able to enable me to do this quite quickly and easily. So then I can just see the information from it, laugh at it and it not be catastrophic, because I've got that strong sense in myself of, okay, that's already happened. So when I'm driving home, one of the ways I'm flipping what happened is, well, that's already in the past. Do I want to be going over what's already happened and feeling more resentment and more dissatisfaction about it? Or do I want to let go of the past and move on? And so I'm saying things to myself, well, that's the past. That minute is already over. That other minute is already over. And I want to focus in this new, fresh, new minute, this new, fresh moment on how I can feel good right now. And I'm leaving that behind me because there's the rest of this day. And I don't want to let what happened there influence how I feel now and how I am for the rest of my day. So if you haven't watched my 3-video series on the greatest freedom, that will give you more of an idea about why that's so important to me and why I want that for everybody. And so part of what helped me to do the flipping when I was driving home was going, well, that's already happened. I want to focus on this fresh moment. What am I open to? What am I receptive to in this? What possibilities are there in this fresh new moment? I don't want to give him, I don't want to hand my power over to anybody else to determine how I feel. Yes, I felt some resentment, but as long as we allow that, allow ourselves to feel it, and then we find a way to move on from it and genuinely feel good about ourselves, then we're okay. It doesn't matter that you feel some resentment or some judgment or some anxiety or some fear. It's about noticing it and not getting caught in it and having an alternative that feels genuine and satisfying and soothing to feel. And so when we can do that, then it doesn't matter. And for me, it really helps me unhook when there's something that is bothering me, when I can say to myself, well, that's already in the past. That's already over. I'm at a choice point here. Do I keep going over that and feeling miserable about it? Or do I go, well, that's over and I want to feel good. What can I pay attention to? What can I do? It's actually a really, really beautiful day. I prefer to focus on that than what's just happened. And so then I'll go on milking. Oh, wow, I love how the traffic's going really smoothly. And I love that I've created this space in my day for me to just be with myself and my thoughts, the kinds of things that help me to unhook from that limiting thoughts, the limiting feelings. So allowing it, and then how do I move on? So let me know your thoughts and comments below. I'd love to hear from you and where you are in the world when you watch this. And if you've got any stories that you want to share about how you flip a limiting experience, I would love to hear your stories. But keep coming back to this channel if you want to hear more stories on how to flip things, because I'm going to keep sharing as different things come up in my day. I'll share different examples in different contexts so that we can all keep practicing our ability to be able to flip no matter what's going on. So no circumstance or situation or person defines how good we can feel right now. Have an awesome day.